Hello, good evening, good afternoon, good morning. It's another day of making this video, and the closet is Friday. It's the last Friday of September. Yay! So it's been a month, and the month is finally coming to an end. And as I am speaking this video, it's gonna be my last video on Friday, as I'll be making another video on Friday on October, which is gonna be next week. This week I've actually run out of the ideas. I think it's because I have not had energy drink for a while, and I've been so busy doing homeworks and coding, and I haven't done much. I have not applied for jobs, but I need to be more proactive. I've not done any networking events, so I need to be networking more. I need to get involved more and more. So anyway, let's kick off this video. First, I want to thank you if you've been watching this video for so long. Even if you watch this video 5 years from now, 10 years from now, or just right now, I want to thank you. It means a lot, and I would appreciate if you give me some ideas and some thoughts on this. Today, as usual, woke up in the morning, went to school, did write some stuff, and they went to the gym, did some workout. I've been lifting weight. As you can see, my muscles are coming up a little bit. And then after that, I was reading the research paper. Today's video is going to be about the economics of antitrust laws. If you don't know, antitrust laws or anti-competition laws is the laws that helps companies not to compete each other unethically. So for instance, in the United States we have companies that compete each other. So you have like eBay and Amazon and Walmart and many other companies that are both working in the same industry, and Amazon is like very powerful, so they can easily, like, I don't know, influence politics by Amazon could combine with Walmart, combine with eBay, and become one gigantic company. When a company is so big and they monopolize everything, they create what we call in economics, we call this a monopoly. So antitrust laws or anti-competition laws is laws that kind of jumps in and help ensure that companies are not competing ethically. And what I read today, the research paper was discussing how this topic is brand new. It's not yet adapted by many countries, trying to understand how does anti-competition laws, antitrust laws help GDP? Do they help with economic growth? And there's an implications on how these laws are being implemented, especially in low-income countries and the OECD countries like Europe, US, and some countries in China. There has been also an implication that antitrust laws, when enforced heavily, could impact negatively, the GDP, the overall GDP. Another thing that was noticed, that there is an implications about how they enforce antitrust laws, because it's critical. How do you enforce antitrust laws? Do you punish companies by charging them money, sending them to jail, or by giving them certain level? How much how do you identify antitrust laws? How do you ensure that the judicial system is not sideways? So it was very interesting, but the key point that I noticed was that antitrust laws do help countries develop. They help GDP, even though they could hinder the new ideas and new entrepreneurship. So take for instance in China, they have very limited antitrust laws, so you can build as much production as you want, you can do as many copy as you want, so people are not, there's no like enforcement when it comes to copying ideas and idea circulations. And China has been developing really fast, you know, despite this idea, because previously it was known to be that if a country, if you can build 15 iPhones, different iPhones from different companies, that could you know, make the market saturate, you know, make people less productive, whatever. But from this research shows that it's based on how countries enforce antitrust laws, it's based on how it's being handled. And it was very interesting to read. The research paper comes from book crosses, whatever that is, I don't remember the name of it. But I was trying to see how they measure this. They look at the number of industry trending, they look at things like the populations, and of course there was an implication is some countries are much richer, others are poor. Some countries specialize in certain industries, some don't. They also looked at PMR, which is product market regulations. So instead of looking at the country, instead of looking at the industry trade, so like in the USA we have industry trends like AI, right? These are technology trends, and you know, does regulating specific industry helps the GDP grow, or does regulating specific product can be the one to help the GDP grow? Which one harms each other? And product marketing regulation is focusing more like AI. So you see, AI is a product, but it's part of the technology industry. And United States does not regulate the industry; it regulates a specific products. So you can apply different rules to Facebook versus Instagram. That has been the most effective, and I believe China has done the same thing, and ensuring that these companies are not practicing antitrust laws. Google has been one of them that has been practicing the monopoly and violating antitrust laws. When this happens, the company is regulated by SEC, and then SEC will have to file a complaint, and then the company will have to face some punishment, punitive punishment. But there's a question on who gets to choose, who gets to decide. If too many people choose to, if a company starts and becomes developed, like OpenAI started from scratch and now it's like a big corporation right now, it's like it's growing faster. If a company is growing faster, why does that's a good thing, that's a positive thing, like there's a growth margin going up. Why does the government have to care about antitrust laws? The reason is because when a company gets bigger, why and it becomes a monopoly, controls the market, it doesn't actually help the economy, because they can A, raise the price, or B, there wouldn't be new ideas. They will limit how many ideas can be implemented. So for example, in the United States we have this is the best example, by the way. So we have energy companies supplying natural gas, oil, supplying natural gas and electricity to our homes. Because these companies, of course, they use public land, they use public property to transfer electricity, they have to be part of the government, so they have the monopoly on the electricity. You can't just come to the United States and build a power grid and sell those power grids to people unless you're selling solar panels. But if you wanna start your own, if you're an entrepreneur and you wanna start a power supply company, you can't enter the market because of the regulations. But because of that, we never had a chance to implement other types of energy. Like, for example, we could have implemented, if there was fair competition, we could have solar energy, we could have maybe electric energy, we could have hybrid hydroelectric energy, like all kinds of energies that could be there in the market, and then the consumer can choose toward the price. In the United States, the problem is that because these companies have the monopoly over what they can supply, they can choose to raise the price, and they can limit, they cannot develop new ideas. They hold on to what they have, and even if they have to adapt, they take so long to adapt. It's the same problem with public transportation in the United States, which is owned by government. It is the individual who are having contract with government. With this, the monopoly makes it harder. Like, nobody cares about the price. Like, it's fine, we can pay more money, it's fine with the company. Just that when they have the monopoly, they do not invest in developing new ideas, and when a new company comes in and wants to compete, it's crushed down because of those anti-pro or very relaxed anti-competition laws. But when you look at technology, however, in areas like Silicon Valley, which is a very friendly area with technology, you have new companies coming up every single year. These companies come up, they create a great product that people want, and then once a product is in the market, they go and tell the investors. Investors, they like the product, customers like the product. So once the investors and the customers are interested in the product, the founder of that product will immediately ask for money. So investors take the money from one company, right, to another. So let's say Anthropic, a company in Silicon Valley, decides to develop faster. They could go to another company, let's say Google, and ask the investors from Google to invest in Anthropic. And then if Google is not keeping up its technology to catch up with Anthropic, investors will drop their money and put their money into the Anthropic company, and the company is going to grow fast. So because of that shift and competition, it makes it easier for the consumer like us to have new products, new ideas, new developments, new innovations every single time. So anti-competition laws helps ensuring that because of that, a company like Google might make it harder for a company like Anthropic to actually compete. So if Anthropic comes up with an idea, they might drop them, and Google might do it in a different ways. They could do it by making sure that their investors are crushed down, so that if they try to leave the company, they lose the money. Google can also do it by paying a large amount of money to employees who work for Anthropic to come and work for them. They could pay a lot of money to ensure that Anthropic does not move out to compete. By having these laws in place, it ensures that Google lets Anthropic develop, and when Anthropic is developing faster, then Google can also choose to either adapt or get out of business, close the door, and Anthropic rise up. These levels variations is due to anti-competition laws. We have had the same problem in the past with Ford. Ford used to be the biggest car manufacturer. When anti-competition came up, these laws became popular. Now we have more cars. We have Chinese cars, we have Japanese, we have Tesla, all these cars, German source cars coming up, and they are both competing in the market. So that was today's video. Like always, thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. Ciao ciao.